Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your stomach. And then bring your feet parallel. Oops, socks off. It's snowing here. I assume it is with most of you. So feet parallel, arms by your side. And then we're going to do flowing bridges. So you want to have your heels roughly under your knees. And then as you inhale, draw the lower back down to the mat, lift your hips, and then lift your arms overhead to touch the back of the hands down. Little squeeze with the glutes. And then as you exhale, arms come back down to your side and lower down through the vertebrae, hips down last. So just keep moving and feeling that rocking of the pelvis backwards before you lift your hips. Arms come up and over. And then exhaling back down. Following your own breath. Two more. Okay, and then drawing one knee into your chest. Let the other leg lie on the mat. Hugging that knee in. And then bringing the thigh slightly to the outside of your ribs. You can release the opposite hand. And then bringing the opposite hand to the outside of that knee. And rolling across. So just feeling the spine rotate. Trying to ground the shoulders, keep your head looking in the opposite direction to where the knee went. Roll back to center, feet flat on the mat, knees bent, hug the opposite knee in. Straighten the other leg. And then again, release the opposite hand and draw the thigh down beside the ribs. And the opposite hand across the outside of that knee and draw it across. Inhale, come back to center, hug the knees in and cross at the ankles. Draw your navel in and you're going to rock 3 times to sit. Was that 4? God, lost count halfway through. Don't know where my head is at the moment. Okay, sit in butterfly. Actually, you might want to sit up on your block. Draw the heels in. Sit nice and tall. Then squeeze the glutes, your external rotators, so feeling the thighs drawing down. Lifting the chest, press your hips gently forward. And then release your ankles, hands to the outside of the knees. Bring the knees together and come to stand at the front of the mat. Standing in mountain. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. And almost like a lazy sun salute, just letting the body flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, step back for Chaturanga. Lowering to the mat. inhale to cobra. Pausing here as you press your palms down into the mat, hug the elbows in. You're going to little twist as you roll your right shoulder and the right ear down to the mat, and then press back up. Change sides, left shoulder tips down, left ear hovers to the mat, come back to center again. So really pressing tops of the feet and the pubic bone down as you move. Just waking up the spine once more each side. Getting that synovial fluid moving through all the vertebrae, the joints, lifting back up, tuck your toes. Just reach back. You can bring your forehead down or just let the head hover. Keep your ears between your arms, just stretching through the arms, and then inhale, lifting up into down dog. Walk your dog. Couple more breaths here. And when you walk your dog, really pause with one heel down, the other knee bent, so you can feel that stretch in the calves. And then inhale to come forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart, standing in mountain. So one more time. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms down, Chaturanga. And then pause in Cobra. But this time, you're going to lower your chest, bring your arms back for Locust. So gaze down, inhale, lift arms and legs, internal rotation of the thighs. And exhale, relax, turn one cheek down to the mat. Exhale here, and then inhale again into Locust. Waking up the back body. The next exhale, relax, turn the opposite cheek to the mat. And then setting up for Cobra, palms beside ribs. Inhale, Cobra. And then exhale, tuck the toes, coming up into down dog. 3 breaths. And move as you like. You can roll the knees underneath. Getting the hips moving, or just settling into down dog. Then inhale to step forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, palms to touch, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, and standing in mountain. And bend your knees deeply. Bring your tummy to your thighs. Hook your big toes with 2 fingers and a thumb. Relax your head, elbows soft. Squeeze your thighs, lift your hips. Hamstring stretch. If you can't get to straight legs, no worries. It's first thing in the morning, so you don't want to overdo it. But just gently feeling into the backs of the legs. And then exhaling, bring your hands to your hips. Coming up to stand. In the front of the mat, take the weight into your right foot. Lift the left knee up, step back to triangle pose, Trikonasana. Legs straight, draw up through the thighs, arms go wide. And then left hip back, reach over, side body long, reach, reach, reach towards the front of the mat, and then tip. Lean back, draw the top shoulder blade down. Turn the head to look up. And then inhale, lift your arms wide, hands to hips, turn your feet parallel. Turn the left foot to the back of the mat. So you might not be looking at me, but you know where you're going. Triangle on the left side. Right hip goes back, reach forward, and then tip. Really feeling that gentle press of the hips forward, like you're rolling that left buttock under, shoulders away from ears, so the neck is long. And then the next inhale, arms come up and wide, hands to hips, turn your feet parallel, right foot out. Sorry, right foot points to the front of the mat, left foot parallel to the back of the mat, side angle stretch, Parsvakonasana. Bend through the right knee. You can have your block on the inside of the foot to deepen the pose, or bringing your forearm to the thigh. Left hand to sacrum. Keep sinking the hips and then sweep the left arm up and over, rolling the left ribs up to the ceiling, not too heavy on that front arm. Inhale, coming back up. Bring the block with you. Turn the feet parallel, left foot to the back of the mat. So the block is if you want to deepen this pose and bring your hand down towards the floor. You can even bring the hand to the floor. So sink into side angle stretch. So forearm here, hand to sacrum, or come a little lower. But only come lower. You can even have the block a little higher. If you can still revolve through the rib cage from the navel, sweep the top arm up. So if you feel that top shoulder's dropping down, you need to come up a bit higher, just to work through the rotation through the core. Back leg strong, feel that lift up through the inner thigh. And then inhale, coming up, turn the feet parallel. Exhale. Turn the feet parallel. This is Ashtanga, by the way. So outer edges of the feet are parallel. You can have the block in front if you need it. But we're drawing up through the thighs, hands to hips, and then turning the tailbone up behind you without taking the hips too far back. Rock the weight forward, turning the hips up, draw the navel in, fingertips down. Start to curl in, draw up the navel, walk your hands. If you can get your flat of your hand down, bring the fingers back in line with the toes. So you're almost pushing the hands forward to help engage the core, hug the forearms parallel. Draw the crown of the head down towards the mat. And then inhale, coming up to fingertips. Squeeze the thighs, ankles drawing towards each other, hands to hips. You're halfway, exhale. And then bend your knees slightly, inhale. Coming to stand, bring your feet back together. Come to the top of the mat. And figure four. So hands to hips. Lifting the left leg up, bring the left ankle across the right knee, and then sit down. So keep the raised ankle flexed. So feeling like you're working the lower leg muscles as well. You're pressing the shin down, almost feeling as if you're drawing that knee down towards the mat. And bottom is sticking out. Feeling that hip stretch. If you can come further down, come further down. You can even release your hands to the front shin. And then inhale, hands to hips, standing up. Other side. Inhaling, weight into the left foot, lift the right knee up, flex at the ankle, and sit back. So this is the standing version of thread the needle. When we'd be lying down, we'd be holding onto this standing leg. So helping the glutes lengthen, hip open on the raised leg. So really sticking your bottom out, draw the navel in. If you can come further, you'll start to curl in towards it, the shin. And then inhale, hands to hips, lifting up. Exhale, release. Bending back at the front of the mat. Going to step, bring the weight into the right foot, step the left foot back and drop the heel down. So feet are hip distance apart. So you're like warrior one legs, although you're going to, this is twisted triangle. So straighten that front leg, push down through the back of, or the heel on the back foot. And actually, if you bring your block, the tallest height, to the outside of the ankle on the front foot, hands to hips, draw the hips level so you're internally rotating that back thigh, pushing through the heel, draw up through the chest, then inhale, left arm lifts, squeeze the kneecaps, thighs strong, going to hinge forward, and then bring that left hand to the block on the outside of the front foot. So feel that you're twisting through the, or the navel is drawing in as you twist, but you want to draw the right hip back and then start to revolve. So rolling the right ribs up to the ceiling if you can. So keep the right hand on your hip. If you feel that as you lift, that top hand, you feel like the arm's at a funny angle because you can't get the rotation. So you can then keep the hand on the hip, but otherwise drawing the hip back, revolving through the chest, top arm reaching up, 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 turn the head, and then exhale, hands to hips, squeeze the thighs, lifting up, and step back to the front of the mat. Other side. So it's intense, this pose, but we're working strongly through the hips and the core. Twisting is really good for massaging the organs, but also really getting the blood pumping through the hips. At the front of the mat, you're going to inhale, lift the right knee up, step back. So separate the feet on train tracks. The right toes like warrior one, 45-degree angle. Bring the block to the outside of the ankle on the front foot. Draw up through the thighs, hands to hips. Internal rotation of that back thigh. So drawing the hips level to the front of the mat, lifting the kneecaps. Right arm lifts, draw the navel in, and then exhale, reach forward and then twist. So really using your core, you want to extend the chest forward, reach through the crown of the head, and then start to roll the ribs up. Reach the top hand up, or just bring that hand to the left hip. Turn your head so shoulders away from ears. What's going on here? Scissoring feeling in the thighs. And then exhale, look down, hands to hips, draw up through the kneecaps. Lifting up, step, right foot forward. Give the legs a little shake. We're going to come to sit on the mat. In, staff pose, Dandasana. So straight legs, press down through the backs of the thighs, internal rotation so the toes and knees point directly up. Flex at the ankles, rest your hands by your hips, soft elbows, lift up your chest without using your arms too much. Gaze on your toes. So really feel pelvic floor, navel drawing up and in. And then Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms up, reaching up, lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, hinging forward, reaching, if you can reach your feet, 2 fingers hook the toes and round with the thumbs. Otherwise, just rest your hands where they fall so you're not pulling through the upper back. Elbows soft, extend with the chest. So use the exhale to soften, the inhale to lift a little more with the chest, reach with the chin, and then soften inwards. Keep the legs strong, pressing heels away, backs of the thighs down. And then inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Come to a seated position. Hands on your thighs, closing your eyes. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. Namaste.